let's get to let's get to Imam Akoshile now. One of the activities during this Eid-El-Fitr celebration is giving of, charity, and even beyond what should be what is the accepted act of kindness at this particular point in time?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, you see, the month of Ramadan itself, it's described by scholars as a school in itself, where Muslims are schooled on acts of morality, acts of spirituality, acts of social interaction that they are expected to carry with them for the remaining 11 months till another Ramadan meets us, if the Almighty wishes to preserve our souls till then.
It's a continuous process.
It's a continuous process.
Okay.
So the month of Ramadan comes with a lot of lessons. One of it is lesson in patience, lesson in perseverance, lesson in self-restraint, lesson in social interaction, positive social interaction at it, and several others. Now, looking at the specific now addressing the specific question of the relevance of these lessons that we've learned on this particular day, which is the day of Eid-El-Fitr, where we are expected to give. Apparently, an individual who have been schooled in the last 30 days on virtues, on kindness, is expected to be able to carry it over and radiate it, not only today, not only for tomorrow, but for the remaining 11 months till the next Ramadan. So these are some of the impacts of Ramadan on us, which we are expected to radiate. And I can assure you that if individually we are able to imbibe these lessons that we are expected to pick from the month of Ramadan, and we're able to implement it in our day-to-day lives, surely our community, our society, our dear country Nigeria is going to be better for it. Just like what Mr. President has said, we are sculptors in this journey of nation building. And sculpturing Nigeria to be the best nation in the world demands our sacrifices, demands our patience in how we interact with ourselves, demands our self-restraint, not to react rashly, not to react in an untoward manner, even when issues are not how we want it to go, or even when situations are not the best of it. But when we are patient, we exercise self-restraint, we understand with one another, we engage ourselves positively, and we can go on and on and on to pick from the lessons of Ramadan. So it suffice if we implement the lessons of Ramadan in our day-to-day activities, and surely our nation is going to be better for it.
So it's supposed to be a way of life.
Yes, definitely.
It's a way of life.
Definitely.
Not just be for Ramadan only. Just
definitely
become a way of life.
Because, the interesting thing is that worship in the Islamic understanding, it is not separable from day-to-day lives. They are intertwined. So when you offer salat, there are things you pick when you pray that you are expected to implement outside of the prayers. So when you pray 5 times a day, you recite portions of the Quran, there are messages to those things that are recited, there are meanings to them, and those messages are expected to be animated and exemplified outside of the prayer.
But is there anything called the act of kindness, at this period? Any particular act of kindness?
Now, several. We can count several acts of kindness. What people usually see to be act of kindness is the act of giving. But beyond giving, there are several acts of kindness. For example, the scholars have told us that the noble Prophet ﷺ is somebody who is so kind and so generous. Then it is reported that during the month of Ramadan, he is more generous than he used to be in the normal days. That he is even more generous than the fleeting wind. When it's about to rain and you experience some kind of fleeting breeze, it's so generous to you that you feel happy, you savor the freshness of the wind. So Rasulullah is more generous than that fleeting wind that you experience shortly before
rain.
the rainfall, the winds that herald rainfall. So that is a kind of that is a type of act of kindness. Another act of kindness that we are being taught as Muslims is when you see anything injurious to your neighbor, to your society, to even the animals, you are expected to remove it so that it does not constitute harm. So you see, Islam is not limiting us to kindness to human beings, but it's also telling us to be kind to animals, to be kind to the universe around us. It's important. So these are more some of these lessons we are expected to pick from this act of worship, fasting, praying, zakat, hajj, and the rest of them. And we are expected to implement them on our day-to-day lives.
All right.